Heather McDonald has got the juiciest scoop. When you're on the road, when you're on the go, Juicy Scoop is the show to know. She talks Hollywood tales, her real life Mr. Segment serial data and serial sister. You'll be addicted and addicted fast to the #1 tabloid real life podcast. Listen in, listen up. Woo woo. Heather McDonald, Juicy Scoop.
Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. We are laughing because we're three funny comedians. I have my good friend, very old-time friend, first writing job I ever had. This was my roommate in the room, Ian Edwards.
First two writing jobs, right?
Well, that wouldn't be first. That's one is the first one.
But then the second one too.
Yeah, the second one too.
Yeah.
And his good friend, who I've enjoyed on his feed, because I follow him. Now I'm going to follow you, Paul Elia, who is a stand-up as well. And you have a stand-up special that's dropping Christmas Eve. And it's called, what is it called? Detroit?
Player.
It would be so weird if you weren't from Detroit.
Yeah. I'm from Arkansas.
Or not a player.
Like, that's so Hollywood. I'm none of these things.
Oh my God. No, we were just laughing because I was saying, how do they watch your special? And you said, explain how they watch it.
Yeah, you can watch it on Mint Comedy. It is a comedy streaming service. You could pay $10 and watch it.
And enjoy it. And you're like, I put it behind a paywall. And I said, well, hey, Patreon is the best thing that's ever happened to me. I'm like, the two best things that ever happened to me is Patreon and the iPhone. And I go, and my kids. And then what did you? And you're
and
like,
I said, Patreon is the best thing that ever happened to your kids.
Yeah, they're getting a great Christmas gift.
So you're not even in their top either.
Yeah.
You're after Patreon.
Yeah. And then after PS5.
Yes, I love it. Okay, let's talk a little bit about. Okay, so you guys are both hilarious comedians.
Thank you.
How did you meet? Because you do a very funny series called Roommates. That is so clever that you've been doing for a couple of years. I love these videos and TikToks and Reels. When did you guys start dating, first of all?
Well, we're not dating.
Yeah.
Come on.
Oh, so you're straight?
Yes, we're
Oh,
straight.
sorry.
Two straights.
Sorry.
Two straights.
Oh, wow. Okay. Well,
People turn off.
I'm an ally of the straights. I'm raising two, so I know it
I
hasn't.
don't think the straights have allies anymore. It's almost like we're being forced to not be straight. And I support the whole LGBTQ every letter, but I feel like there's less support for me as every day goes on.
We got no letters.
Yeah. It's but how did you guys become friends? Did you meet as comics? You're not really roommates, right?
No.
Thank God, that'd be really
That'd
sad.
be sad.
Because you're of a certain age, at a certain caliber, that would be a little odd.
Yeah, but people do think.
But it could help your career because then you could be in the closet and then you come out and it's like, wow, for so long these guys were in love and they couldn't be themselves.
Pitch us an episode idea.
Until they came on Juicy Scoop.
You're the only person insisting this on your show. We're not going to say we're gay for your episode.
I wear your rings at the end.
Yeah. Okay, so tell me how you guys came together as friends and collaborators.
Just being comics and running into each other at the Comedy Store. And then a few years ago, I had a special and I wanted to do something when it was going to come out to like put like a promo for the special continuously at the end of the so that every episode would promote the special.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So then we came up with Roommates and did it once. And we could do this again. So then we just keep on check out the special on Comedy Central at the end of each episode. And then we just, even after that, we just kept on just doing more.
I think it's so funny. And I just remembered when we had our first job writing on the Keenan Ivory Wayans late night talk show, when he'd do his monologues and we'd write like monologue jokes and ideas for monologues, remember he didn't want to do like politics or anything topical. So we would do like a whole monologue. And I remember one of them was roommates.
Roommates?
Yes. It was just like, let's just talk about roommates, whatever. And I remember I was like, I go, I think the weirdest thing about roommates, like in LA as we're like actors and stuff, is when I'd be invited to a party at someone's like sad apartment and, they'd have like the Trader Joe's food and like, some cheap alcohol, whatever. And then someone would just walk out of a room and like go throw something away and go back to the room. And I'm like, you didn't invite your roommate to your party? Like it's a full holiday party and the roommate's just not on the list.
That's funny. We actually had an episode where I was having a Zoom party in the living room. So I'm on Zoom having a pandemic Zoom party, and he walks into the living room and sits within the people in the Zoom can see him, and they're upset because he's not supposed to be at the party.
That is so funny.
Yeah, Ian had this brilliant line where I showed up and he goes, "You're doing everything everyone else is doing, except you ain't got no invite."
So like, I made him leave the living room so I can have the Zoom party.
Yeah, well, the bouncer came in and kicked me out.
I had a bouncer.
Yeah.
You had a bouncer.
There's a bouncer for the Zoom party.
When I think about my dream vacation, it's always on a beach. That's when I think about when I'm like, oh, I need to get away. But also, I love Way products because they make my hair feel fabulous. I love their hair oil. It makes my hair glossy and shiny and gets rid of the frizz. I love their detox shampoo because I use a lot of products in my hair. And I love giving Way gifts to my sister and my friends because their hair has never felt better. So go to theway.com for 15% off site-wide when you enter promo code JUICY. That's THEOUAI.com for 15% off with code JUICY. One of the greatest things, and this is a true story, is this happened maybe when my friends and I were like in our late 20s, early 30s. And someone they knew was excited
I thought you were in your late 20s
Oh,
now.
thank you.
Yeah.
And someone they knew was like, oh, come to my holiday party. And they were excited because they had bought a townhome and everything. So that's nice. So it was one of those townhomes where you walk in and there's like a little step down living room that like no one really uses. Then you go in and the kitchen overlooks the family room and then, upstairs. And they got there and there was like a red rope on that part. And so they were like, oh, maybe they just don't want us like dirtying it up, whatever. And then as the party went on, the host was like, oh, you can come here and this is where the good wine is. He had a VIP
in his house
section for his townhome for the better wine. Like, here's a Charles Shaw, but if you want the Dow or whatever, it's over here. I was like, that was the craziest story I'd ever heard, and it was true.
I don't even drink, so I don't even know what any of those words you just said.
One is cheap and one is mid-level. Yeah.
The one that's harder to pronounce is expensive, right?
Yeah. Dow. Yeah. A little mid-level. No, your ideas are so funny, and we won't be able to execute it as well here. But the one I just saw is so brilliant, and it's that you guys are roommates, you're playing video games, and then you talk about how you see his girlfriend on Hinge and that you matched, and then it goes in this direction. I don't know if you want to say it or you'd want me just to explain it, because I don't want to but it's so
I saw his girlfriend on Hinge.
Yeah.
And we matched. And he's like, so you're not going to go out with her? I said, no, because I already did go out with her. And he's like, what? I said, yeah. And he said, did you sleep with her? And I'm like, yes. And he's upset. But I'm like, listen, I had to sleep with her because if I just went out with her and you found out, she would tell you that I just tried to holler at her and that she blew me off. But the fact that I slept with her, she can't deny that she's a faithful woman anymore. So I just slept with her for you. So now you need to break up with her because you can't trust her. And then he's upset that I helped him out.
And then the best part is you're like, you know what? I don't understand why my friends don't appreciate the nice things I do for them by exposing the true people they're with. Yeah. I think that is the funniest thing. And it's such like a weird psychology, but actually it's like true.
Yeah.
You did prove in this, fake scenario, you did prove that. And you're right. She could have said, oh, all your friends want me.
Right.
And all this, when that's why you stick with that great friend.
Yeah. I mean, it's like gaslighting at its finest.
It is so brilliant. It is like the best. It's the best way to, turn something around. It's like up there with, I don't know if this is Eddie Murphy or whatever, but like the idea of like somebody walks in and sees their man having sex with someone, and it's like, I can't remember how they would explain it, but it was like,
It's not what it looks like.
yeah, it's not what it looks like,
right.
you know, like, come on.
I would have been like, it is what it looks like,
Yeah.
and you shouldn't trust this woman.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's not your friend.
She's not your friend. This is not a good long-term prospect for you,
Yes.
as
Find some
I'm
new-
proving right now.
Go to church and find some new friends. So funny. I love it. Anything, what else is going on? You go on the road all the time.
Yeah, but the strike is over now.
So you plan on starring in some movies or what?
Is it over?
Which is,
I love that people are always like, well, the strike, I couldn't, I'd be selling shows and being starring in movies. And it's like, well, what were you doing before the
I
strike?
just want to go back to sending in self-tapes
Oh.
that will never get looked at. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? Because you guys auditioned too, when that first started of sending in the, I had like a love-hate with it. For one, my husband would have to film me, and he is not patient with me doing
Why
multiple
did you just
takes.
come here and just shoot it here?
Well, this is
Yeah, you
kind of
got this-
before we had this,
Uh-huh.
and then honestly, I have agents. I don't know that they know that they have me as a client because I don't hear from them besides my live show. I have a really good guy that does all my stand-up and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the people, I don't really go out on anything.
Right.
And when I'd get them, I'd be like excited. And I was like, I'd always get so nervous. I was like a bad auditioner.
Yeah, me too.
And you know who I remember? Claude, our first show,
Mhm.
which was Lyricist Lounge.
Yeah,
Claude
you
was
booked that. So how were you a bad auditioner?
No. With the way I got that, this was a sketch show that we did. Is I tried to get an audition and they're like, no,
Mhm.
and they hired this girl that was going to be the white girl that could do sketches. And then you guys were all writing the show,
Mhm.
and the girl was either bad or she quit.
Mhm.
And Allison Faust said, I know a white girl that's way funnier than this girl.
Right.
And so then she goes, I got you an audition to
Mhm.
come in. And then I did all these characters. And then Claude's like, okay, we're going to make this like work. And I always say, it's like, when people say the casting couch, I'm like, no, the casting couch is not, it's the writer's room.
Right.
If you can
right,
get a
right.
friend to
vouch for you.
recommend you or write a part for you, that's how you get
Mhm.
actually on TV,
Yeah,
you
right.
know? And so when we did that, I remember Claude, who was like a child actor.
How did you get the job as a writer then?
Because so then I went in and they said, bring some character ideas.
Mhm.
So I brought all the sketch ideas that I ever had and all these characters. And then you guys liked a bunch of them.
Right.
And then we did this, then we did the pilot. And I was like featured in a lot of things. And then after the pilot got picked up, they said, we want to make you a writer too.
Oh,
And I was like, oh, cool. And then, I was making still like no money. My
Right.
agent said, never had he seen a worse deal than that Lyricist Lounge deal. It was $1,200 for me to start in this pilot.
To star?
In the pilot, yeah. And I said, I don't
They
care.
gave you that much?
You know,
Yeah, man, that's a
you know
great
that-
deal.
There was
Hey,
this,
you still have some of that money.
Yo, give us some. That's like about the iPhone.
there was that one guy that did he did a really funny impression of who was the rapper that had the scratchy voice that like died recently that had like dogs barking in the background?
DMX.
DMX, yeah.
Yeah.
He would do that character. That guy was bragging, saying he got $5,000.
Oh,
Which I
shit.
still didn't care. I was so happy to get anything. Like I
Right.
had never booked anything in so I was like, I don't care that this is no money. I just have to book something,
Right.
you know? So I'm like, and then people are like, you're going to give away all your characters? I'm like, yeah, I'm going to give away. I'll just create new ones. Like, who cares?
Yeah, where
Well,
else
you
are they
can't-
gonna go?
You can't like gatekeep your content,
Right.
whether it was back in the day when we auditioned or the internet. Like just
Right.
put it out there and hope that it like leads to something else.
Yeah.
So
What year was this deal?
this would have been 1998 or 9.
Oh, man.
I think it's 99.
Yeah, maybe 99. Yeah, because I got married in 2000 and we were doing like the second season.
I
when I
can't
got
believe
married.
they offered. I mean, it's like back then, like, thank God the strike, and maybe it'll like change some things, but it's like these deals
it
are
was-
so humiliating sometimes.
So then when I started to write with you guys,
Mhm.
we had our first table read with the MTV people.
Right.
And we all submitted our sketches and stuff. And they saw how many sketches I'd written and that were being picked. And then the guy and the girl who were the MTV execs are like, we did not realize that you were going to be such a contributing writer. So we're going to go and give you more money in the back pay to match the writers that are writing. And I'm like, oh, because they were only paying me $500 a week to write.
Oh, they were?
Yeah. And so then
is that legal?
Who knows?
Back in 99?
I mean,
who cares? It was like, I was just like, oh my God, I can't believe I'm going to Hollywood Center Studios. I can't believe someone from wardrobe is asking me my size. I just was like so excited to work that I would have never, that's why the unions are important, because it's like, people don't get that anyone will do anything to do their art.
Right.
And that's how they get taken advantage of.
Yeah, and
if
you say no, someone else will say yes.
Yeah. And you're just like, I don't care. I love to do it. I'll do it for free. You know, it's crazy. But anyway, what I was finally getting back to is Claude always said, I'm really good at auditioning. I don't think I'm a great actor. I'm just really good at auditioning.
I believe that.
I would get really nervous. So when we started to do the tape ones, I kind of loved that, like, I could do it over and over and over again.
Right.
But then, I mean, it was like, oh my, we were almost about to get divorced. I was like, forget it. I don't even want the part. Like, if you're not going to let me do it over and over and over again, he was just like,
it's hilarious.
How would you, when you would do your
I was terrified at auditioning. I'd rather
put it on
in
tape.
a war on the front line, the first man walking point, and like doing the actual going in. Like, I'd kill it at home rehearsing.
Yes.
And then get so nervous getting closer to the thing, and then trying to be cool in the waiting room. So now I just show up just in time to like cut down the amount of nervousness. And then it just would never go right. So I didn't believe in self-tape, but I wrote on Blackish. Right?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So when I was writing on Blackish, like we all used to look at the auditions or like the last people who they would consider for like a guest role.
Yeah.
And some of them were self-tapes, and we'd give it to some of the self-tape people. So that made me believe in self-tape. I was like, I'm never going into an audition again. This is an official show on ABC, and they're not even taking into account that that person did multiple takes and sent it in, and this person who's at the audition nailed it right there. And I know I could do if you give me a part, I'll do it. But if I have to audition for the part, I'll definitely 100%
I mean, because with the self-tape, it's like, once you're on set, you're going to kill it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's like, so you kill it at home and then you get in your car and you go over to Universal, and then you're in the wrong lot, and then you're nervous, and then you're looking for your ID. Now you can't find the building. Then you see someone you know, and you're like, oh, fuck, are they going up for the part? And like, there's so much going on in your head. Then you sit down, then people are chatting. Oh, hey, girl. Like all of this. And then the casting director comes out and is like, Jennifer. And you're like, oh, Jennifer's got the fucking part. And you're like, oh, it's all in your head. And then you finally get in there and you're like, awful.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank God for podcasting, because obviously I didn't book a lot of acting roles. And so I'm always like, if I go back to acting, it's going to be like someone's just got to be like offering it to me.
Yeah, they got to just offer it to you.
Because it's just like, it is so, and it's so true. All those things, of course, get in your head. There was a pill that some people were taking.
Oh, I wasn't taking that.
It was called like a beta or something.
Oh, beta blockers.
Yes, to make you less nervous.
Oh,
I never did it though, but I thought about it. I was like, oh, maybe I need that.
Yeah.
And then I thought I'd be a Scientologist, because I was like, if those Scientologists know how to like walk into a room, they have all those weird things going on, and they like own it. Like Leah Remini got like 30 pilots before.
Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, and she in her book, she was like, oh, I had to do 30 pilots. I got 30 pilots before King and Queen took off. And I'm like, wait, we're supposed to feel sorry for you that you booked 30 pilots?
That sounds like Scientology worked out for you.
Yeah.
Scientology was her acting coach.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah. Okay. Let's talk about Oprah.
All right, what did Oprah do now?
Now, Oprah has gotten very skinny. And a lot of people are like, is she doing what everybody's doing? Ozempic, Mounjaro, the shots. But she's also like part owner of Weight Watchers. And she's like, no, it's not that. I'm like, we're just supposed to believe that she's, skipping the scones with Meghan Markle and Montecito. I don't know, going for a nice walk.
These are guns, though.
She's worked out.
Those are guns.
So here she is. So anyway, from Tuesday's show, I talked about her being skinny, and that people need to accept that their friends that were never as skinny as them are going to be skinny now, because God created a doctor who made a skinny shot, and just fucking deal with it.
Skinny shot.
Just deal with it. And so I do it. So we put this clip together, as you do, from Tuesday's show. And I posted it this morning on Reels. and I put hashtag Oprah da-da-da. I went back after 1 hour. I have 360,000 followers. I'm not saying that to brag. It moves like molasses up the
Sounds
thing.
like a brag.
Yeah.
56 views.
Oh,
56 people in 1 hour. So I took it down and I took off Oprah and I took off Ozempic.
Mhm.
And I just put like weight loss, comedy, stand-up, Juicy Scoop, Heather McDonald. Was like 10,000 in 2 minutes.
Wow.
And so if Oprah has power. Also, you can't tag her in anything.
Wow.
Yeah.
yeah?
She knows the algorithm like that?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's hilarious.
So I'm just saying, if you want to talk about Oprah on your reels, just do not tag her. Do not hashtag her.
Dang.
I'm getting.
You know how there's,
56
like,
views
certain
and I
words?
don't say shit to Oprah. How am I getting killed? And I'm not even attacking her. What's going on with mine? Who am I attacking?
She knows
on
you're thinking it.
Anyway, Oprah goes, she's promoting, I think she's promoting like the color purple
And she's
20th,
wearing
30th
purple.
anniversary. I don't know. She's wearing purple all the time.
They
What is
actually
it?
made a new color purple. I don't
Yeah.
know why.
Oh, they did a whole new movies?
Yeah, I saw a
Dropping-
billboard.
Oh, I thought it was like the anniversary or something.
I didn't know about it either.
And she's the producer of it. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
All right. So she's wearing purple at all these events and she looks gorgeous and she looks great. And so of course Drew has her show and Drew is, I love Drew, but like she's all about like attacking her. So she grabbed her and she's like always in everyone's face and in their personal space. And she takes her hand and they zoom in on the hand and it's, her, look at me, and it's like, it's her white hand and over that it's just, no, seriously, you are everything to me. You are the mother of talk shows and you're here at mine and I am not worthy. I am not even meant to be in your presence. And you used to talk to the audience before the show. Like you used to take the time to actually say hello to them. And that's what I do too. And I'm like, okay, so we're supposed to be like, wow, Oprah and Drew actually talk to the humans that come to their show.
Right.
They are just like us.
Was Oprah trying to like pull away? Like, get them.
Yes, it was very awkward. You can see her arm was completely taken. She was like massaging it.
Uh-huh.
She was literally getting her and massaging it. And then people were like, that was weird, Oprah. And then Oprah was like on the red carpet. She's like, I love Drew. And that's what Stedman does for me too, as he strokes my arms.
Oh my God. That video is going to get no views. The algorithm's going to stop this from happening.
Yeah, but she's thinning, and then today she did announce that the weight loss, that Weight Watchers has a weight loss medication that helps you maintain your weight loss. Basically, they have a version of the Ozempic and everything, and we've all known it. But she was acting like that wasn't the case.
But why is
They
everybody-
bought all the subscribers of anybody that's ever bought Ozempic.
Right.
Weight Watchers bought that, so that they have that database.
Like their subscriber list and
Yeah,
emails?
yeah, like to know that these are the people that are some people that struggle with, weight
So weight
loss.
loss
We
is
want
putting
those people.
Ozempic in their food.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe.
And giving it to their customers.
Yeah. As a side, it's like $2 like avocados.
Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
you dip your fries.
Yeah. In an Ozempic dip.
Ozempic.
That's brilliant,
Yeah,
actually.
I know.
Oh my God. That's a great idea.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll have the
there's a
burger and the
skinny-
fries and an Ozempic Chipotle dip.
Yeah. There's a skinny
And then,
shot.
yeah, and then
Skinny dip.
after 4 fries, I'm satisfied.
Yes, I'm full. I don't know.
I bet they're going to figure out a way to do that.
I mean,
You know what I also saw, and I don't have a photo for it, but there is a new thing that's coming out in 2024 that you drink that will like save you from like binge drinking, alcohol poisoning, not just like a thing to like, hey, help you with your hangover in the morning. Like literally, I think take down your blood alcohol. And I'm like, holy shit, like what would that do for like DUIs and stuff? Like if you could get wasted, you want to drive home, could you like take that shot? Or maybe not. Maybe you'd still be buzzed, but it'll help your digestive system.
so what does it make? What does it actually literally do?
It's
Like,
kind of like, the shot that they do, the
right to
Narcan.
get all the drugs out.
so you're about to die, and
Right.
like now people like at parties and stuff like have the Narcan around, and like people have the little
Can you just take the Narcan without the drugs? Is that wrong?
I think it's Narcan. I'm not
Yeah,
sure.
my bad.
But no, like people say now, I'm like, who the hell would ever do cocaine, right? With the fentanyl and everything.
Right.
And they're like, no, people have these little pieces of paper that they can check if there's fentanyl in it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if you have to
Fentanyl
check
strips.
if your drug is going to kill you, like maybe this is the year to like stop sniffing the coke.
I mean, they're addicts, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're not going to be rational.
And I feel like they would test it.
no, these are like party people. These are not like addicts.
Right.
These are people that want to keep doing lines of cocaine and they can afford to just make sure that it doesn't have fentanyl in it.
So at least then they're still partying, but they're being cautiously.
Yes.
They're being
Yeah.
responsible. I still feel like they're drug addicts.
Yeah.
Because if you know something could kill you, like cocaine, I never did it, but
Right. Neither have I. I've never
was-
tried it in my life.
Me neither.
Oh my God. The three of us
Coke-free.
have literally never tried cocaine.
the three
Yeah.
non-cocaine people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
It's
know,
been
like-
presented to me several times.
Stop your bragging. Me
Yeah.
too.
I mean, I
A pretty girl like this, you think I haven't seen a line of cocaine in front of me?
Have you seen her Drew Barrymore impression? Of course. She's been offered.
so it's like, that's a great impression. You know what? Just do a line.
For me, I always loved cocaine movies. Like I loved like Less Than Zero because it was always rich and glam and like
Blow.
Casino, Blow, anything that dealt with like the fifth character is like coke, you know?
Right. The fifth character. is
And
cool.
then, but I was like, I just think I never wanted to try it because I'm like, any drug that's going to make me curb my appetite, want to talk about myself more and stay up all night is going to be way too enticing for me. Like
Yeah,
that
right.
is so I never ever tried it.
Yeah. Do you think it's going to be legal one day?
No.
You don't think so?
Why do you think that? I
I
feel
don't
like you
know.
have an insight.
Yeah, for
I just
somebody,
feel like- I just feel
for
like
somebody that's never done coke. What?
Why are you pushing for?
Yeah, who?
Yeah, I'm a
He's like,
Coke
I have
advocate.
stock in it. No.
Stock and Coke is great.
Yeah,
I just feel like it's like things are moving. It's like shrooms are slowly. I mean, it's
Oh,
is legal now.
that's true.
And then there's like other forms of drugs that are legal. And there's like other like steroids that were illegal are now becoming legal. So it seems like things are starting to get more and more acceptable.
Well, I mean, I think there's things like cocaine that are legal. Like, I mean, that just get you like amped up, you know,
Like what?
which just espresso, Red Bull, like just stuff like.
Espresso? You really never done coke.
You touch espresso for fentanyl?
I feel like that. I feel like when I'm doing an espresso martini, that's my cocaine.
That's funny. You put a.
Because I'm like, it kind of perks me up and I can get a buzz.
Right.
I feel like you never need cocaine because you already have cocaine energy. Like you're organically, so you're good.
Yeah, I think no, because it affects like your heart rate so much. And I think like mushrooms and other things like that don't put you in a place where you could like have a heart attack.
Yeah, because there's just other medications and like things that do increase heart rate that are like, especially like what their athletes are taking that are like pre-workout, creatine, a lot of these things. So I'm like, even like TRT that people are taking and peptide therapy and a lot of these things that increase your heart rate. It's just
What's
like,
TRT?
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
testosterone replacement therapy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like it's like the new thing. Like
like a lot of guys that are like pushing 50 will take it and then all of a sudden they get jacked up like the Amazon guy.
yeah, they get
Oh,
jacked.
they-
They're
Yeah.
like, it changes their sex drive. It changes their focus. It's like an overall like limitless pill. in
Oh, I
some
loved
ways.
the movie Limitless.
Oh, it's fantastic.
That was such a good, I love anything like that. Do you
Yeah.
remember the movie, I've talked about this so much time. You remember the movie Flowers for Algernon?
No.
Was that?
It was about this little rat that like took this, like in a lab, they gave him this drug and it made the rat really smart. So then they gave this dumb guy the drug and he became really smart. And then all of a sudden the rat starts to get dumber. And they're like, oh, fuck. And then the guy gets
shit.
dumber. It's just like the Limitless. Like all of a sudden you're like doing amazing. And then,
The come down.
yeah, it's like when people say,
Yeah.
oh, Ozempic is doing great. And then people are like, my bowels fell out into the toilet yesterday. And like,
Right.
or whatever. And then you're like, well, maybe, for some it may not be so great, Yeah, really amazing. Okay. Now, Kanye, what are your thoughts on Kanye? He's out in Miami.
At a Art Basel.
Yeah, covering his face and wearing 12 layers of clothes because that's what you wear when you go to Miami. And apparently he has a new album and a new song and he didn't get clearance from the Backstreet Boys. And I'm like, well, what's he going to do? Call them and record it like he did Taylor and then act like they gave him consent.
Right.
And then he's out with the girlfriend that has to wear the nylons up to her chin.
Right.
And the purple pillow. And then the kids are there. One of the girl, she was with Chicago's the little girl, Northwest is, the insult comic, and she's bouncing up and down and she has a song. That's right, I'm Miss Westy. And everyone's like, yeah. And they're like, I mean, she's so much like Kanye. It's amazing.
Oh,
yeah. So I just want to get, what are your thoughts? What do you think is up with Kanye?
I feel like the Backstreet Boys about to get paid. That's what I do feel. Like they just came up.
Yeah.
And Kanye is such, like these guys were huge, right? But Kanye's so big now. Like they put the 5 white guys in a little circle. Kanye, the whole screen. Like this is some shit you'd never see when I first met you in the 90s. Like this is
we reversed this.
So this is, there is some type of like it almost feels like they feel defenseless. Like he could just take their music and there's nothing they could do about it.
Yeah.
But that's what this picture.
And I also feel like they might be like, who cares? Because it's like, I know a woman, she's a very good friend of mine, and she's she and her husband, very, very well off. And I mean, she had the Backstreet Boys at her birthday. And they're the kind of people, they could go to Dubai, they could go, I mean, so even just having a little pop of their song be in a song that we're all listening to is only going to help them do concerts and shows and everything. So they might be like, who cares? We're glad you sampled it,
Yeah, because you just, before the podcast started, you asked your son about Queen Latifah.
Yeah.
And he's like, who's Queen Latifah?
Right.
Like they could get the same response from people your son's age or younger. But because everybody's like still Kanye's in the zeitgeist.
Right.
Like him just playing. I heard the snippet he played.
Yeah.
Of the opening of his song with them in it on Instagram, and everybody's talking about it. So good for them.
Yeah. I think that I would, go take it. You're right. That's the right way to be, is just be down with it and be like, we love it. Who cares?
I don't know. If I was their manager, it's like there's money on the line. You know what I'm saying? Like there's money, there's royalties, there's publishing rights. Like if this song blows up, makes a lot of money, like they should. I can't believe he didn't ask that. It's like, that seems like musician stuff 101.
You can't believe Kanye?
Yeah, I mean,
did some crazy shit.
I mean, like I know he does a lot of crazy stuff, but I feel like it's like a lot of emotionally driven, a lot of things. Like he feels a lot of pain, and maybe that's what's behind it. But this is just like bad business.
They said the version Kanye West appears to have played in the Miami club featured other voices singing the chorus. So it's possible he can get away with it through a loophole. I don't think so, though. But who knows? Yeah. But I think you're right. I think it just gets people talking. I mean, I think sometimes, yes, they have a right to be paid, but then the bigger picture might be just like, let's be cool with him and let's, celebrate it, and let's use his version now when we're on the road or whatever.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's smart. What do you think he's insane or what?
I have no idea. I have no medical. I mean,
that's a very politically correct. So you
he's not going to take me down too. I don't even have the money.
He's going to sample your jokes.
Listen, I'm not gonna say anything that's gonna get me through him.
Yes.
No, hell
you're right.
no.
You're right.
Yeah.
We're also very close to Hidden Hills right here. So you're right. We don't need some Tesla truck to come running down the street and take you out. What I love most about the holidays is spending time with loved ones, as I'm sure you do as well. And you get to hear stories. Maybe you've heard them before. Maybe you haven't. And you're like, these are so great. And they are life stories about this person who's telling them. Well, that is what I love about Storyworth, because this is a gift that makes it so fun and easy for anyone to write a book about their life. Every week, Storyworth will email your loved one single life-related question that you pick from the collection, like, what's the bravest thing you've ever done? What's the farthest you've ever traveled? All they have to do is reply with a story. Then after a year, Storyworth compiles your loved one's stories, memories, and even any photos into an exquisite hardcover book, creating a valued keepsake. I absolutely love this. Millions of stories have already been told with Storyworth because they make the process so simple. Help your family share the story this holiday season with Storyworth. Go to storyworth.com/juicy today and save $10 on your first purchase. That's Storyworth, STORYWORTH.com/juicy to save $10 on your first purchase. Storyworth.com/juicy. Everybody loves to get away, especially during a holiday. And what is your dream holiday? Are you on a yacht? Are you hiking through the mountains in the snow? Well, don't miss your chance to get away this season and fill your sleigh with gifts from Way. You know, I love their products, especially their detox shampoo. Since I use a lot of products in my hair, it makes it so fresh and fluffy. And then I love the hair oil. It's their best seller. And it just is a fast fix to get my ends going and not so dry. It gives shine. It smooths and smooths out the frizz, gives me the high gloss. You know, I love it. Great gifts, by the way. Also for the naughty people on your list, get them the leave-in conditioner. This is for all hair types. It's color safe, cruelty free. So awesome. So don't miss your chance to get away this holiday season. Go to theway.com for 15% off site-wide when you enter the promo code JUICY. That's THEOUAI.com for 15% off the code JUICY. What are your thoughts about the Matt Rife controversy?
Which one of them?
Yeah.
I mean, well, what did you think of his special?
Oh,
Yeah.
this is-
Yeah.
So he's your friend.
Yeah, this is my really, really dear friend. Like we
Oh,
started
good.
comedy together in a lot of ways. Like I met him like when he was really young into comedy.
Yeah.
We started to go on the road and we'd have like 30 people at our shows. We went to London in last May and there was, I think 30 people at the show when we went
So
there.
he hadn't blown up last May? It's only been like this
I'm
last
sorry,
year?
2 Mays ago.
Oh, okay. 'Cause
Yeah.
But that seems to track. I feel like I've only started to hear and everything explode in like the last year and a half.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and like he always had this energy of like when someone would say something to him, he feels like he needs to like rebuttal.
Yeah.
And it's like this like battle rap mentality. It's like someone says something about you, now I got to create a diss track for what you said.
Right.
So he still has that in him. And he's also 28 years old.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like at a certain point, it's like, yo, ease on the keyboard, chill. You don't need to like clap back to everything someone says. And then he's like, no, even if you 6, you gonna get this smoke. I don't care if you in kindergarten. I'll pull up to your grade school. And it just is something that I think, everyone will outgrow at a certain point. But like he's always like, he doesn't want people to have the last word or like the last laugh. Like he wants, and that's like a very comic thing to also have. Yeah. It's like, I can't just let someone clown me. Right. Even, you know what I mean? It's like even in circles or like in high school at the lunch table, someone will say something to you. You can't just like let it sit. You got to think of something and say it back. So I feel like that there's still shards of that in him. And I feel like, the helmet conversation was definitely
just to remind people. So he got criticism. Well, let me go a little bit back. So, what I have said is, he didn't pop out of nowhere. He has been doing this for 12 years, doing shows with you, being on the Wild and Out, but it was these videos of him doing really great crowd work that really got him famous. And because he's so attractive, a lot of women really liked him. And a lot of women, even that found my podcast, that's because I talked about pop culture and housewives. Oftentimes I would be the first stand-up show that they ever came to.
Right.
They were not like, and then they were like, oh, I like the stand-ups that you featured on your show. Now I'm following them. Now I enjoy going to the clubs and now I'm a regular stand-up person. So I think a lot of women, this was maybe their first like guy stand-up that they were into.
Right.
And then when he started to do some interviews and he was like, I'm not going to placate to my female audience. I think that didn't sit well with women. And I wanted to ask you, like, why do you think, what was his mindset? Because my opinion of why he said that is the same opinion, and I'll be the first to say it, that like there was times in my life where these women would come and they'd say, I'm coming to your show and I'm dragging my husband. And I was like, why do you say that? If you got tickets, if your husband got tickets to see, Ian Edwards, Chris Rock, you, whatever, you would be like so excited, get your hair done and go and laugh your ass off. Why is it you have to drag your husband? I'm like, I don't think you're giving your husband enough credit. Like if he finds you funny, he's going to find me funny. And so now I have more men, but I kind of had to educate them like, you're not helping the cause, girl, know? And so I think, but there was something about it when I'd have the majority of women in the audience. And even today, when a guy, and especially a straight guy, would come up and be like, you were fucking funny. You were so funny. I never laughed harder. That compliment would mean more to me than the women. Because I was like, oh, I made a dude. Yeah, and I made a dude laugh. And I kind of think for him, he wants the respect of the guys' comics more. I don't think he meant to like diss the females. I think he was like, I want the respect of everybody. And I don't want to be told I'm this pretty comic that made it because I'm cute.
Right. I mean, I think there's a specific type of female fan that he's addressing because it's like after he blew up, we're doing shows, then he'd get on stage and women would shout, take it off. Take off your belt.
Well, now he knows how it feels.
While you're on stage.
Show us your tits.
You're like, wait, I'm going to get to the bit. Give me a second. Yeah. So as he's doing shows, it's like there's times where like me and him are like working on new ideas and he's like, oh, I'm going to do this bit. And then in the middle of it, some girl's like, you're sexy. You're hot. Take it off. So then he would
annoying.
Yeah, so he'd be so frustrated that he would basically just start, with that same battle rap energy. Be like, now I have to clap back and talk about her and roast her. And then so after the show, he would just be like, man, people won't, and it's mostly women, stop yelling at me. They won't stop catcalling me. And it's like, yeah, dude, this is how women have felt for years.
Right.
You are being treated this way. And it's like, how do you respond to it? So I feel like his response is like, I don't care. Like he'll mention about the female fans. I want guy fans because guys actually are listening to the jokes, are actually like they're looking at the punchlines. Whereas a lot of women that will come to the shows, like if he has something to say that's anything sexual, it's just the energy. You just feel the energy of the room change because everyone's like, oh, you're hot. You're saying something. I like seeing a hot guy talk about a sexual joke. And then he'll have a joke about something else, another topic. And then women are just like, wait, go back to the other thing.
That's why I don't do sex jokes. You know what I'm saying?
Because you're too sexy?
Yes. And, I just want to be heard. You feel me? So all my shit is political. And I don't even like politics.
It's just senators at your shows.
Like if you see it as sexy Ian, you do have a sexy voice.
My jokes is about trains and shit like that.
A bunch of conductors. They're like, yeah.
But how does he feel about all this stuff? I mean, I don't think it's really going to hurt him in the end. I think people are still obviously going to be into seeing him and everything.
Do you know what was wild? When when Matt, for people who don't know, Matt essentially made a Instagram post and he said, because he had a joke about domestic violence, he opened up his special with a domestic violence joke and he used it as like a temperature check of the room. It was not read that way to a lot of people. People had a lot to say about it. So then he posted on his Instagram a link to special needs helmets.
Saying if you can't take it, maybe this will help you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. This is his, and the note said, this is my official apology. So the next day, or a few days later, he did a show at the Dolby Theater. He sold out, I think 4 shows. And people wore helmets to the shows. People are like, will you sign my helmet?
Like, they loved that was his clap back.
Yeah, they loved it. I mean, yes, people like, I feel like there's like 2 worlds. There's this internet world where people are like, I'm so outraged. I can't believe they did this.
Right.
And
you need to, and when people say you need to apologize, I'm like, well, if you're forcing someone to apologize, then it isn't a real apology. Right. Whenever people say we need an apology, it's like, well, then that doesn't seem like it's authentic or not. Right. So there's that. And then you're right. And then there's other people that are like, this pendulum needs to swing the fuck back and we don't care. And like, we should be able to laugh about this shit. And, and I mean, there's people that are like, I have a child with special needs. I thought it was fucking hilarious. Like there's different people and everyone can have their own opinion and you don't need to follow this person anymore. And you don't need to go to their show if that's really how you feel.
Yeah. And even if you look at the comments, like the video will have a lot of views and the video is very much on the side of Matt, you're wrong. Yeah. And if you look at the comments, they're very divided.
Right.
And people don't talk about the comments. They just talk about the video. Oh, this video, even the video about the kid. People are like, this is actually really funny. That's funny that you said that. That's actually hilarious that he said that. So there's that side of people.
He's good as long as he doesn't hashtag Oprah. You know what I'm saying? People will still get to view his stuff.
Yes.
I need to stop
definitely
tagging
don't
Oprah.
hashtag Oprah if you want your video to be shown.
Yeah.
Well, good. But I do think he got jaw filler. I just really do. And I don't think there's anything wrong. And I don't think he ever has to admit it. I don't think he has to tell it. I'm just saying, as someone who plastic surgery is a strong interest of mine. And
that's hilarious.
And look, there's just certain things that people do in their lifetime. Dolly Parton was the first to get big fake tits. I'm not saying that's the only reason she's a star.
She still looks great.
But it helped. Kylie Jenner was like the first to make lips seem normal, to get it. And then she capitalized on the lip kit, whatever. It helped. It helped.
So she got lip surgery.
She got lip filler.
Lip filler, and then she sells.
And then she sold the lip kit, and then it exploded.
But
at first she said, "Oh, I just drew my lips." Then she
Her
finally
mom
was like, "Yeah,
shut up. We're gonna sell kits."
Yeah. And then she got, then she admitted to it, but it's okay. But it's okay even if he doesn't ever have to admit it. It doesn't matter. But in my opinion, I think he got some filler here, which is a very easy thing to do. And it rarely looks weird. It usually looks great. And so go for it.
But I feel like people will see me.
He's really good looking.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people will see me. Yeah, he works out. That's the thing, because it's like he did develop and he was working out.
Right.
He was, I don't know if he took hormone replacement therapy or whatever it was. I haven't dived into that. I mean, he's one of my dearest friends, but
But he doesn't need to share that with anybody. Nobody needs to share that stuff with anybody if they don't want to. So who cares,
So people are just attacking him now
for everything. But I like his little face. I think he's hot.
Do you think he's hot?
I just think he looks regular.
No, I didn't.
You didn't find him hot during Wild 'N Out?
No. I thought he was cute. But again, that's why teeth are so important too.
Oh yeah, he did have those teeth.
And good for people. I want to shout out to the Invisalign.
Invisalign.
Yeah.
And you know what?
It can really improve your teeth.
Invisalign don't
And if
get
you're
the
a little bit
props it
older and
deserves.
you don't want to go through real braces, I have seen results that are amazing. My own son got it.
Oh yeah.
Invisalign, listen to me. No, seriously. My son didn't want braces. I was like, I think you should get them. And then I'm like, whatever. You're going to get out in the world and you're going to realize that your teeth are fucked up. And people are going to not, and it's fine because everyone will think you have no money and then they won't try to get pregnant so that I can raise your child. Okay. So go have your fucked up teeth. And now he got the Invisalign. And every time he came home from college, I'm like, oh my God, you're gorgeous. Because then you wear it and they just look like a little glossy. You can't even tell. And then it really, really works. And so it's especially if you kind of missed it. And
it's cheaper than braces, way cheaper.
Oh yeah. And then if you just want to get them evened out, get a cap or a veneer or whatever, or all of them.
Yeah.
That can be a little expensive, but it is. Everybody I've talked to, I remember even Kathy Griffin had one time done an interview. She goes, out of everything I've done, the thing that was life-changing was good teeth.
Yeah. Invisalign is like the LASIK of teeth.
Yeah.
Surgeries. You know what I'm saying?
It's amazing.
There's no excuse to not be attractive today. It's there's so many things you can do. There's so many lip filler and jaw surgery and all this shit.
It's always
That's a
you're
crazy statement.
No, but it's
bro, anyone can be fine, man.
No, they always say, you're not ugly, you're poor. You're not ugly, you're just poor.
Maybe if you're rich. Yeah. There's no excuse for you to be ugly.
Well, it's what I said about the Oprah thing. I'm like, girls are mad. The girls that were naturally thin and didn't struggle with their weight, they're kind of secretly pissed that all their friends now are their size and they can do it because it just really just does not make you hungry. So it's not a challenge. You're not weighing your food. You just are having a couple bites and you're good. And so I feel the same way about, back in our day, if you're going to be a model, you had to have this perfect face or this perfect smile like Pamela Anderson. And it's no, you can buy a smile. You can buy lips. You can, Gigi Hadid, what's her sister? Bella Hadid got a lot done. That girl's face was completely done because they're rich. And you're well, now you're a model. And it used to be no. So, I think the people that are struggling right now are people that are naturally thin and that are naturally beautiful. because they're not special
Well,
anymore.
now they know how.
Dang.
Now they know how everybody else felt by not feeling special.
Yeah. I'm like, oh my God, you just normal looking?
But one of the things that you said that, so when you see a video on Instagram
Yeah.
of like all these fine girls like at a meal and all this food on the table,
Yeah.
are they eating it? or
I do think restaurants in LA, I would love someone to come out and be like, we absolutely are seeing a decline in how much people order. For sure. That's happening. And I mean, I would eat and like store for the winter. I treated myself like a bear for so long because I was like, oh my God, I'm on a date. Like, I got to get an appetizer. I'm going to order the shellfish. Like, I don't know when I'm going to have another meal. So like, I would always eat. But yeah, I still love to eat. But I have noticed, my friends and stuff, that everyone's just not as hungry.
Yeah.
So in ordering, like, you don't want to waste food.
right.
So, but those girls that are taking those photos, there's probably some old fart in the corner that's picking that up.
Right.
And they just
Right.
want one bite. You want to just try a little of everything. And yeah. How do you guys feel about let me just go to this hot girl. This girl might be dating Tom Cruise. Look at him.
Tom looks great.
He's 61.
She's 61?
She's
Oh.
36, but she's really rich. She used to date some Russian billionaire. And I think old rich men are looking for like young rich girls. She's 36. She has a $1 million handbag collection. That just means her own handbags are worth $1 million. And they're inseparable. Clearly a couple. It's so weird he never sees his daughter, Suri.
Doesn't?
Does it? What?
Well, you know what? That's what the paparazzi says. You know, we don't know.
Because
If
they
he
never,
doesn't
when they're
fly-
following him,
Yeah,
they
like we
see
don't
her
know
with
that
him.
he doesn't fly in and they like have a beautiful dinner in a penthouse and hang out for a
Right.
couple days. I don't know.
How do they know
But
that's not his daughter?
That's Suri.
They haven't
Oh
seen
my
him all this time. This is why they're hanging out. I feel like his daughter could afford a $1 million handbag
Yeah.
collection. He bought her all those handbags.
What do you guys feel about like in the last, 5 years, how women have embraced being sugar babies? They don't hide it. They're like, you want my company? You can pay me $1,000 an hour or a bag. I'm going to do OnlyFans. Have you ever dated a girl like that? Is that a turn on, turn off? What are your thoughts?
I think it's good for them. Like, especially the OnlyFans girls.
Yeah.
Like, I grew up in a time, we grew up in Manhattan, you could drive around to where the prostitutes were.
Yeah.
And I never purchased a prostitute, but we would drive around.
You and Eddie Murphy.
Well, that was a different section of the prostitution area. But as young guys,
Before I go to the Comedy
Yeah.
Cellar, what?
Yeah.
Yeah.
As
Go
young
on.
guys, like you drive around and like
Yeah.
look in disbelief, like,
Yeah.
but not like, it was some beautiful ass women
Yes.
in lingerie in the cold
Yes.
in New York City in the middle of the night. And if you can like not get beat up,
Right.
make some money from the safety of your living room or whatever
I
studio
totally
you
agree.
set up,
Yeah.
100%. There's no pimp. OnlyFans is probably the only pimp that's taking some of the money out. But a lot of them seem to be doing good. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
No, I think
Me
it's
too.
totally fine too. I just wonder if for some girls that don't need to do it, that are doing it instead of like pursuing real art.
But you
Like
can
as an
still
actress
do
or stuff?
both,
All right.
right?
You're right.
Yeah.
cares?
You got nothing but time on your
Well,
hands.
I think there's levels. There's the levels of the OnlyFans. There's the ones where you're just flirting with a guy and like, I'll send you a photo of my feet and here I am in my new, bikini. And there's that.
Mhm.
And then there's girls that are like having sex and then people get to see those videos. And that's basically you're running your own like vivid entertainment.
Mhm.
So I do
Right.
think there's levels of it. But yeah, I've always said the same thing. They're safe. They're their own boss. They're in their own home. If they have children, this is something they can like do, when the kid isn't around and like
Mhm.
not have to go be a stripper
Right.
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, but also it's like there's a transaction and understanding. Like if there's
Yeah.
someone with money, let's say the man has money and he's like wants to not feel lonely. He
Right.
meets someone who's young and it's like they're both consenting. It's like there's nothing wrong with there being an exchange. Like, hey, you're gonna be my sugar baby. I'm gonna pay you and you're gonna love me.
Right.
And it's like whether the love is artificial or whether it's predicated on this money is irrelevant. Because it's my money and this is what I want to do with it.
I feel like this is real love.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
do you think she would be with Tom Cruise
if what? He's Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
I
So
think
it's like,
Tom Cruise is more fun than just she's already with a rich guy. So now Tom Cruise is a rich guy and he's like the biggest movie star on earth. So I do think that would be fun to date someone that like that.
Why would you
Yeah,
not
bro,
want
did
that?
you see Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
Bro, he
Yeah,
jumped off a mountain.
He did all his own.
For real.
That's a turn-off.
Like, why?
All his own stunts.
Yeah, there is no if he wasn't Tom Cruise. She's dating Tom Cruise because he is who he is. And
Right.
and he's dating her because she is who she is. She has a $1 million purse collection.
Yeah.
She's already a millionaire, right?
Right.
And she's 36. So she's not too young. People can't be like, it's Leonardo DiCaprio.
Right,
Yeah.
And I feel like that's a perfect match.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think that I do think that men, you know, they do go after like other millionaires, ex-wives and stuff, if they are. Now, why is that? Why like I had one guy explain like, well, a guy does want what another guy at his level may have had. Because I was like, how is it that this girl just keeps dating millionaires and like her ex-husband for 10 years was this person and then she married this person like Yolanda Foster, who's Bella and Gigi Hadid's mom.
Right.
She was first married to Muhammad Hadid. Then David Foster saw that she was his ex-wife, saw a framed picture of her at his house. He's like, who's that? He's like, that's my ex-wife. He's like, do you mind if I date her? And then they got married. And so I'm like, what is that with men?
I'll
That
tell
are
you when
like-
I get to that level. I'm not there right now, Heather. I can't answer that.
Yeah, you just look at a photograph like, I'm going to date that person and find them. Wait, so I just want to understand the question. Are you saying about...
Like, why is it that men are kind of... that it's attractive that someone that was at their level that they may have admired, they kind of are happy that that guy's ex is available for them, that they would want to stay within the pool. Why wouldn't they want to go out of the pool?
But it's like rappers do it.
That's what I'm saying.
In the pool, in the groupie pool.
Yes.
And football and basketball players do it too. Like they've seen, I don't know what it is that makes the person's maybe there's some type of vetting system.
That's what,
where like, all right,
you know, she's cool.
She's cool. And we do some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
And she never exposed dude. So I can
trust this person based on her track record.
In this, like she's used to being with these level of people.
Yes.
You know? Yeah. And to like teach somebody like how to, the social etiquette of like being around celebrity culture, being around big money, sometimes like people can't handle it. So it's like, oh, this is someone that already understands it. They get it. So they're in the crew.
I remember Wendy Williams was talking about, someone pulled up an old clip of her talking about Cassie, who's now, accused P. Diddy of all this stuff. And she was like, listen, if you're someone like Cassie and you're dating a billionaire mogul like that, if he wants to find you, he'll land the helicopter on the hotel that you're staying at and he'll come down and he'll have people there following you and watching you. And with all the fun of dating a mogul like that, the private jets and everything, you also are like selling your soul to the devil. I mean, abuse taken out of it. Just the control of like, this guy is so rich and gives me so much, I better be at his beck and call. If we're going to go to dinner tonight, unlike a middle-class couple that you could be like,
it ain't free.
Dude, I don't want to go to dinner. Like, shut up. And he'd be like, all right, I guess we're canceling Chili's. No, if the mogul wants to go to dinner, you're getting dressed. I don't care if you have a cold. Take a B12 shot. Get yourself pretty. Because this is his one night to go to dinner and you're going to dinner because your job is this. Like, this is this transactional thing. And it's not a relationship that a middle-class person can relate to.
So then the thing is, it's like, is this considered freedom now? Are you compromising your freedom by accepting this relationship that's this transactional relationship of, I'm going to pay for everything, financially responsible for your life. And then if I want to do something, you have to say yes. If you say no, that's a breach of contract. Yeah. So it's like, is that freedom?
Yeah.
But none of us are free. Like we have to work to get a roof over our head. We have a semblance of freedom. And then I know regular dudes with mogul ego that date girls that they follow. And if she ain't getting no helicopter, she ain't getting no white ball. She's not getting no red carpet. She's just getting this dude
Chipotle.
harassing her.
Yeah.
You know, hey, you said we was going to go to the movies.
Yeah.
Now we got to go to the movies. To the red carpet? No, to...
AMC, Topanga Social.
So can I borrow your
Social.
AMC pass?
Yeah, I got the pass. My pass is running out. And we said we could see this certain amount of movies.
Yeah,
and
at
you have
10
to
a.m.
come. Yeah.
First of all, growing up, I had no regulation of what I watched on TV because I was the youngest of 5 and my parents didn't care and they worked. I loved movies about streetwalkers. I did. I loved their outfits. And I was like, I don't want to have sex with these people, but I'd like to wear that outfit that Dawn, the teenage hooker, was wearing in the Made for TV movie, which was played by Jan from Brady Bunch. Okay. These are things that etched in my brain. And then I was like, oh my God, I'd like to just like be like a kept woman. Like I loved movies about like rich girls. And I was like, this would be so great. Until I saw another movie with Victoria Principal and she was the mistress. I probably saw it in the 3rd grade. And she was the mistress and she had this fabulous life. She had this beautiful condo. The guy had a wife, but he'd like go, I got you something. And she'd put jewels and he was so sweet to her. And she was an aspiring actress. And she comes running out by the pool and she goes, I can't believe it. I got the part in the soap opera. And I start working Monday. And he goes, Monday? We leave for New York on Sunday. And she goes, but I got the part. And he's like, that's my only time to be with you. So it's Sunday. And that is when I said, I don't want to be a hooker mistress at 8 years old.
It's a good thing you saw that movie.
Well,
yes. I was like, if it means I finally booked something, you know how bad I am at audition. And I finally booked something, and now my sugar daddy says I can't be in the soap opera? No, I'll make my own coin.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I don't condone any type of abuse on either side.
No.
But you have to say that these days. But
yes.
like, you know.
I think sugar daddies are like cooler now. Maybe they're like, yeah, go do the part and we'll go to New York later. And then it's like, oh, this is so amazing.
No, some sugar daddies are and some are not. That's his 1 week.
Yeah.
He had his 1 week off from his wife where the girl was going to be with him and they could like hang out. And this is a long time ago. So there was no paparazzi or anything. That he was going to have this whole fun week with his mistress who he supports her whole life. Okay, so then I'd already decided in Act 1, I don't want to be a mistress anymore.
Early.
Yes, but in Act 2, he dies and she's left with nothing. And then I was really like, then I learned if I ever become a mistress, you got to make sure that condo is in your name.
Right.
He can't just put you up in the condo. You have to go and like, be like, no, you pay for cash and you put it in this condo for me.
Get an account, right.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no. Then it's like, cool, I'll leave. And he goes, wait. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's like money's not a problem. So he's like, whatever.
So was this movie teaching you how to be a responsible hooker? Was it teaching young women?
Both. It was either teaching you to go do stand-up and
it's like a masterclass
and be your own lady. Or if you're going to do that, you ask for property. And you also say, if I'm able to ever book anything, because I'm horrible at auditioning, I need to know that you will let me have that part, no matter what trip is planned. Yeah.
So what happened at the end of the movie?
Yeah.
Oh, God. I think at the end of the movie, like she falls in love with like a normal person and like works at like Nordstrom.
Oh, man. I want the guy to come back from the dead and be like, I said New York.
I really don't remember what happened at the end. I just remember I just remember her like crying about him dead and then she couldn't go to the funeral and then the lawyers come over and they're like, you need to move out of here today. And she was like, oh my God, you know? So I do know that sugar babies and whatever you want to call it have gotten more savvy once they get to like a certain age and they can't like have an anchor baby or anything. And then they're like, then you got to ask for property or you got to ask like to be taken care of in a will and you got to see it and you got to get your own representation because you're like, look, if I'm going to be at your beck and call, I'm 42. If I'm going to be at your beck and call for the next, 18 years, which I'm cool with.
They have better business plans.
Yes. Just like football players now, they have people that like you make sure that they don't get taken by everybody in their family.
Right.
They like, or they show them to avoid this girl at the Starbucks. She's had 9 babies.
We should open up a business where we. You know how, like, if you're a comic, you have a social media person to help you with your social media.
Like
or
Matt Rife
money manager. Like, we help sugar babies who are making a lot of money, like, make sure that they don't make NFL player mistakes with the money.
Right. Once they have the money, then
once
they
you,
need.
Once you got your hooks in, these are the ways we're going to give you a plan to have a future after this ends. And also a prospective new guy.
Yes.
Because you already have sugar baby credit in that circle of friends.
So they know that you've been certified. You're a certified sugar baby.
And we'll give you our stamp. And this is good. We only want 10%.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. Because who knows when the next strike is going to come around.
Right. But also it's just like a lot of like sugar babies are like, I'm making so much money on OnlyFans. I don't need you.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's also like the pool has been like shrunk a bit. So it's like now these, they're like, oh man,
But you do need all the other guys. Like sugar babies, the OnlyFans, sugar babies are with one guy.
Right.
The OnlyFans, so sugar babies are with one rich guy.
Right.
OnlyFans is with a bunch of broke guys that add up to the rich guy.
Yes, yeah. I was brilliant. Like, as having two boys, I'm like, and I also have a daughter. It was like, one time I'm like, would I rather have my daughter be the OnlyFans girl, or I said
and
yes.
Have your sons run the account.
Yeah, it's just a family business.
I did it one time. We were driving past Black China's house, and my son said, "Mom, will your career ever get to a place where you have to have an OnlyFans account?" And I said, "No, just so you know that, no." But they were like, Mom, you could just do feet. You could totally just do feet. And I'm like, oh my God, like stop.
Not only did your parents raise you without any supervision, you raised your kids with the same lack of Like I could never say that type of shit to my parents, but I love that y'all are so open.
Oh yeah, we're like, well, my mom was like that too. Mm-hmm. Like I remember like we're going, I was like, oh, Johnny is whatever in my classroom or something. And my mom would be like, I couldn't believe it. This is why I'm a Juicy Scoop person. And she was like, well, he cheats. Sometimes she said this to me. He cheats with everybody and everybody knows with the mom. And I was like, for the rest of my life, that's all I could think about. And I remember like 5 years ago, I saw the mom. Mm-hmm. They were now divorced. And she came up to me like Christmas Eve Mass. And all I could just hear was my dead mother's voice like, I wonder if she knows now. I was like, how awful that that's what I thought. Like, why are you telling your 9-year-old this? But it made me who I am today. Talking shit about people's relationships. It's all good. It's all fine. Okay, last thing I want to talk about is this girl for Christmas, she went on TikTok, whatever, and it went viral. And she's like, our kids, they just want to open a lot of presents. So we'll bring a couple presents of our own, but then we'll literally take other presents that they opened from the year before that they don't remember, and we'll rewrap them and like they never know. And you were saying that something like that, you grew up like that.
Yeah. One year, my mom just gave me my brother's jacket. So my brother had this jacket that he didn't wear, and I knew it was his because I saw him with it. And then she just wrapped it up like it was a new item. And then like,
what number are you in the family?
I'm the third. There's 4 boys.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's
one's a lawyer, one's a neurosurgeon, me, and then my younger brother who is he owns a mortgage company.
Oh, so you're the winner.
Yeah. Well, now it's well, yeah. I mean, it was a lot of like pain because like, and like my dad would like introduce me and my brothers to people. Yeah. And like he would always say what their profession is, but they're like, what does Paul do? He'd be like, he's healthy. And like he would just like talk about another attribute, but now obviously things are different. So
now they're popping.
Yeah, we out here.
They're popping. It's people would be like, "Why are your family so excited that they're?" Because I had a lot of support being a comedian, and I was like, "Well, I didn't come from a family of doctors. Like I didn't." So they were like, "Oh, go do your thing." They were like realtors and stuff.
Realtors. Right.
They're realtors. Before that, they were in advertising, and both of them could have been actors. My mom turned down a scholarship. She got a scholarship at Catholic University to do drama, and her dad's like, no, you're doing journalism at University of Wisconsin.
She turned it down to go to New York with him.
To go to New York with who? Her sugar daddy?
We just sugar daddy.
No. She turned it down to go and study journalism because he thought that was like a better female career than trying to be an actress. And then my dad was like really funny and charming and Like, I think they both could have. And so then they were very supportive of it.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just also just those parents that, like, you know, made me think I was like better looking than I am and everything. So that's what pisses off people that I have confidence.
I agree with this lady.
Yes.
Because last night I was at the Americana, right? And
The shopping center.
The shopping center. You see those lights on the floor?
Yeah.
I saw a kid playing with the light that comes out the floor as if it was a gift from, he had kitten tendencies.
Yes.
And it's like I've never seen somebody that excited about a Christmas gift that somebody gave them.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, they're young. This kid was older than these kids.
Yeah.
And he was happy with that, just playing with that while his parents were doing whatever they were doing. So yeah, do it.
And the classic is they just want to open the presents. And the classic is the kids are always playing with the box.
Right.
You know, you put together like, you know, some big thing and they're like in the box playing all day.
Right.
So yeah, I think it just, and there's so many like crappy things, like just get the crap, get the 2 good like gifts that they want. And then the rest you like, just redo it. This guy ran the lotto, and I just want to know that he's in the news every day, and he seems pretty nice. He's won $2 billion. He got his parents a $4 million house. He's buying houses for everyone. This is his house in Bel Air.
Whoa.
You know, I don't think he's going to get trouble having a date.
Nah.
No. But what would you do if you won the lotto? We'll end on that.
Man.
If you really won the lotto, would you continue?
Yeah, I mean,
doing stand-up and stuff? Do you just do jokes about being rich? What would you do?
Yeah, I mean, you got to talk about like the reality of your life. You know, I feel like that's like the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
So it's like you'd have to just, my stand-up would just be about that. It's like you can't just do that and just talk about like, random shit like trains.
Yeah.
Unless you own the train.
That's Ian's act.
Watch it, fam.
Yeah.
I always think there's so many like stories about how like lotto winners, their life is actually awful because all the people come out and everyone expects and it's never enough and people aren't around them for the right reasons. And I think it's kind of sad that this guy is like Page 6 writes about him or whoever this is.
I mean, he doesn't look thrilled.
This is the son. Yeah.
Because they took a photo of him while he's just going about his business.
Yeah.
Like, to me, my life would change if I won $1 billion because I would just disappear. First of all, don't announce that it's me.
Yes.
I'm getting plastic surgery. I played the lotto, so I already have a plastic surgeon
Matt
with a
Rife.
down positive. You think, like what they're
he
accusing.
He comes out his jaws this big.
He looks like Matt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you ain't gonna recognize me.
But just from the face up, Matt. With his body.
I'm gonna disappear like some of the Nazis did in 1945.
Yeah.
Like, you won't be able to find me.
You wouldn't
follow me around.
You don't think you would miss the joy you get from being a funny performer? You think that you could just have a whole nother chapter of your life of just like seeing the world in complete luxury?
Look at me.
You've lived.
I'm gonna go enjoy the world.
Yes.
For as long as it lasts. It's not even gonna be around that much longer.
I totally 100% agree.
In a disguise, nobody knows who I am, and with the people I want to enjoy it with. I won't even tell my family. I'll just be like, hey, I just got some extra money. Let's go here. Or nobody knows it's me.
Right.
I think I would do the same. Because I've had some fun in this fame game. I've had, success that I'm very proud of. And I don't have this thing like, I need to have the biggest special and a billboard on Sunset before I die. Like, I don't have that kind of ambition like some of us do. And
like Paul does.
Yes, Paul's a nightmare.
Yes.
Yeah. And everyone watched Detroit Player on the Mint app Christmas Eve.
So Paul could blow up.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah, but one thing I haven't done is I really haven't traveled because I've been a mom for all these years, and before that I couldn't afford it. And so it's like, I always said like, I want to travel, but I don't want to go like to hostels and, be sweaty. And like, so I'm like, I'll wait until I'm like at an age where I can enjoy it, which I can now, but I could really enjoy it if I had $1 billion. So I think that's the plan. I'm so glad we figured that out for the end of the show because I didn't know exactly. Now you've convinced me.
Yeah, you're welcome. Yeah.
That I should just not tell anyone, but just be extremely generous friend.
Exactly. And then, OnlyFans, women who are successful, if you need or the sugar babies, you need the business plan.
What is your romance life? Are you single right now?
Yeah, I'm single, but it's December, so it's not too late to meet somebody. It's going to be easy. Everybody wants a Christmas love.
Yeah, they want a gift.
They want a little present from Macy's.
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
And what about you? What's your romance situation?
I have a girlfriend. We've been dating for almost 2 years. She's about to graduate dental school at UCLA.
Oh, so you locked it down with a person that is going to be able to provide a stable lifestyle for your artsy fartsy life.
Well,
and you have nice teeth.
Yeah, I she cleans my teeth for free.
Oh, that's hot.
It's great. That's like our foreplay. She just cleaned my teeth. Give me some Colgate.
I love it.
Yeah, she's she comes from Venezuela, so my parents come from Iraq, so we have like similar understanding of backgrounds and like in terms of poverty and like government struggle and like political
interesting
issues. Yeah. So, like when I really talk to her and like see her, I like really see, and I've never experienced this before. She just reminds me a lot of like my mom and like because my mom's like my hero. Like
your mom is that hot?
She is. You've seen her.
Does your mom love her?
My mom loves her, yeah.
Yeah,
and
that's awesome.
My mom, it's hilarious. My mom's like, she goes, Paul, I don't like anybody. I don't really like people, but her, I like her.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, and so
I love my mother-in-law. I have a wonderful mother-in-law. So hopefully I will be blessed with great daughter-in-laws.
I love your family.
Oh.
And just like the videos of you and the family, especially since I knew you before.
Yeah.
You knew you had any family.
Yes.
Like of your own.
Right.
Like when you moved in with Peter, and I might have said this on, like, I got some of your furniture.
Yes.
From your apartment, from my apartment. Like, that's how far we go back. Like, she's like leaving her apartment in Westwood off.
Yes.
And so I got some of her furniture.
You got the
when she moved in with him.
Yes.
Yeah. Like before, these people you call your family exist.
That's right.
And it's just so great to see your son working here, and you're all funny and just enjoy each other.
Aww.
Yeah, Peter's great. Never met Peter. Just
thank you.
Very
how nice.
welcoming, and y'all got a good tribe.
Oh,
yeah.
Thanks. I'm very lucky this holiday season and lucky to have you guys. I want everyone to follow you. Here's Paul's at 49.7, Ian at 83.5.
A measly 83.5.
Let's get those.
Stop hashtagging Oprah, bro.
You guys, all the reels are on there too. Are you on TikTok too, you guys?
Yeah, I'm on TikTok. Paul,
you guys are on TikTok.
I'm not.
You're not?
I was, but
what do you think? It's going away?
No, it's not. I'm going to get back on. I'm on by the end of the year.
Just get on it, and I mean, look, I don't know if this is the right thing to do. I just basically put the same thing on Reels as I do TikTok.
Right.
And it's kind of interesting. I feel like Reels, because the people on Reels, like I didn't grow as fast, but it's all real people that like follow and love me.
Yeah.
And so for some reason they kind of do quicker and better there. But then there'll be something that like surprises me that like really pops on TikTok. So I feel like you just got to put it all out there. Right. And then just take that extra moment just to post it on there.
Yeah, the algorithm loves consistency.
Just don't hashtag Oprah. Don't hashtag Oprah or anything that's too controversial.
Can you no hashtag Oprah?
Yeah.
Is that like tagging?
It's like no homo, no Oprah.
Thank you so much, you guys. Tell everybody again where they can watch your show.
It is going to be on Mint Comedy. It's dropping on Christmas Eve. Detroit player. Ian was also there as well.
Where'd you tape it at?
In Detroit, Michigan.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, but me being there got nothing to do with the special.
you have a couple specials. Where can they watch those?
I mean, it's Comedy Central has my special, but I don't know how accessible Comedy Central is.
I know. I don't even know when people. I'm like, I think
Comedy
you could
Central
probably
used
just
to
watch
be-
my special like on YouTube or for free or something. Find somebody.
Yeah,
that
just follow
pulled
me.
it.
Yeah.
Just follow.
Just follow me. Like it's an individual thing. Now follow me. I'm gonna shoot a special next year and put that out too.
Yeah.
So
your special, the one that I saw, you kind of had like a cool outfit on. What was that one? Did you have like some ripped jeans or shirt.
I had like a
ripped shirt.
Yeah, some people rip jeans. I ripped my sweater. You know what I'm saying? That's how revolutionary.
That was a really good special. That was
Thank
through
you.
Comedy Central.
Comedy Central, yeah.
Oh, okay.
And Bill Burr presented it.
Yeah, that's awesome. And he was doing that for a lot of comics, and that was really great. All right. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye.